But but see, I'm glad you brought up like weird trickery and stuff because now I'm gonna sort of like segue a little bit back into DC because here's the thing I'm intrigued about. Okay, in Spider-Man: No Way Home, and conceivably in this Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness thing, um, they kind of have this idea of all these heroes can interact, but they do belong to one specific timeline, and that's the
Right.
specific world that they know, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm confused about over on the DC end of things is like there were some set pictures that leaked this week that showed Michael Keaton's Batman interacting with the J.K. Simmons Commissioner Gordon.
Right.
And we know that that's not his Gordon, right? He wasn't the Gordon of the Batman and Batman
Right.
Returns movies. So a part of me is wondering too, like, is DC gonna act like all these universes exist on their own, or are they gonna somehow merge all these timelines? Because especially if we're gonna have Michael Keaton be like the Batman that interacts in these shared universe movies, and he's basically replacing Ben Affleck. What does that mean for Ben Affleck's Bruce Wayne? You know, and why would Ezra Miller, you know, why would Barry Allen choose to live in a completely different continuity? You know, like why would he
Yeah.
leave his?
I'm
It seems
wondering.
more like they're bringing Michael Keaton into his. But yeah, so I'm very intrigued. I wonder like if that's going to get confusing at all.
Well, I'm
You know?
wondering if they're doing kind of what they did in with how they kind of handle this stuff more in the comics, and especially with Jim Lee at the helm now. And I know he oversaw like the New
Yeah,
52, which was a big kind of weird, university
yeah,
changing
like a
thing.
reset.
But yeah, that kind of the way that worked, I think. Yeah, there was just like a bunch of stuff where just like some people just got replaced and it just merged into a new universe. So I think
Yeah,
Barry's gonna have to screw stuff up pretty bad, and then it's just gonna be like,
yeah,
no, it becomes like this weird conglomerate, and just like some versions replace the other versions, and it's like, no, this is how it all looks now. Like it's just a big
yeah.
puzzle piece
And I
put
guess,
together.
and that's the thing though. Like it's going to be very interesting to see how they pull it off
Yeah,
because there is it almost seems like they're trying to have it both ways. They're invoking the idea of the multiverse, but all they're really doing is picking and choosing the elements they want to keep and just making this the continuity
that's
now.
what they do in the comics. That's literally how they handle the paperback comics. So like
Yeah,
I think they just go that route and just like comic people are used to that. Let's just do that. And that way it also in a way makes it a little different than Marvel because Marvel's not resetting their universe. They're just saying all these universes exist concurrently
yeah,
and we're just going to be popping in and out. But
yeah,
DC might say, "Hey, we're going to explore that a little bit, but we're going to use it to like make this new world, this
yeah,
new continuity, and that's what we're going to work off of." And then maybe they make other trips back to the multiverse later and it changed it again, but like theirs is
yeah,
more of a reset, whereas Marvel is just more of an expansion. So I
yeah.
think that's
Because
cool though. It just makes it a little bit different, and it's that way. It's not
yeah,
the same thing. So
yeah,
whatever.
it's going to be weird because for all intents and purposes, at the end of the Flash, he's going to be in that new suit that we've seen, right? That they glimpsed it at we glimpsed it in that the world needs a hero teaser. So he's going to be in the new suit with presumably the Michael Keaton Batman as the predominant Batman Bruce Wayne of his world,
Mm-hmm.
as well as what other interesting stuff they incorporate. And this is just the new normal for DC on film. So
Right.
it's not so much that he visited other universes for a little while. He just made a whole new one out of existing
Yeah.
parts. You know, so it's going to be interesting to see how that's accepted, how it's pulled off because at least we could say so far that with Spider-Man No Way Home, Marvel's pulling off this concept. The way
Yeah.
that movie just passed Avatar at the domestic box office. It's the biggest hit in years and years by a large
Yeah.
margin, and people no one's confused about how they got all three Spider-Men in that movie. So it's going to be interesting to see if DC is going to stick the landing on that too, or if it's just going to seem sort of contrived, like, oh, this is just a reboot, but you found a weird backdoor creative way to explain it, you know?
Right.
So yeah, did you have any closing thoughts on the Multiverse of Madness and the fact that like pretty much every both Marvel and DC, no matter what your particular brand of superhero dumb is, You're about to have to be very, very comfortable with the multiverse these next 2 years. Do
Yeah.
you have any feelings about that?
Well, I'll tell you what, I need to catch up and finish Marvel's What If because there was a ton of stuff in that Multiverse of Madness trailer that links right back to that series. So that
Yeah.
has become now crucial watching, which is crazy because now Disney and Marvel are saying like you even got to watch the animated shows because we might pull stuff from there that's gonna like
Yeah.
everything's connected. So they're really opening the doors to a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And there's been a couple of little rumors off this trailer too that someone sees that like when they're reality hopping in the trailer you kind of see them bouncing through different like realities. There's one that looks like they come from an animated one, someone's saying, from like a freeze frame. So I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, you can go online and read these like crazy articles or YouTube videos where they pick it apart. But yeah, Marvel's really they're going really crazy. But I think DC is looking for a reset. But that trailer got me pumped. I'm probably about like a 7 out of 10. Before I was definitely more like, I wouldn't say I was at a 0, but I was definitely like a 2 or a 3.
Yeah.
I'm definitely in the 7s now. Like like I said, he's still not my favorite character, but I am very curious to see how this is really going to blow the concept up. It's gonna be an interesting year.
Yes, it is an interesting couple years.